Hello and welcome back to another very special Wildlife Wednesday. We have our resident goofball here, James Marlowe. What are you up to today?
Well, howdy there. We're in the greenhouse.
We're in the greenhouse.
Welcome. Yeah, this is Bethel Horizons greenhouse. You ever been in here, Jacob?
You know, I've been in here a few times. I actually cleaned it out.
Wow, well,
almost a year ago to the day.
check it out. It's getting put to a good use now. We got a bunch of things growing in here. Some we want, some we don't want. We can talk about the plants in a little bit, but why don't I tell you a little bit about what the greenhouse does for the plants. How's that sound?
Oh, that sounds great, James.
Let's
Let's some more. Why such big windows, other than the view?
Well, it sure does. So what the greenhouse windows are designed to do is help convert light energy into more heat energy. And so when you're getting the rays of sunshine coming there, all that shortwave radiation that's the sun is just blasting out onto Earth, it's coming in through these windows. These windows help disperse some of that light. The light comes in, the plants absorb it, but it helps trap heat mostly too. And so it keeps it warm in there, and that helps keep the ambient temperature throughout the year pretty stable for the plants to grow. So the plants are going to need a lot of sunlight, a lot of moisture, and that heat, which helps preserve the growth rate as the seasons change.
The interior.
Yep.
Wow. Get a
So-
look. You know, as I walk through here, James,
Yeah.
I see a whole boatload of plants. I see some that maybe look like maybe some tomatoes, maybe some chilies, maybe, you know, some brassicaceae, you know, some type of, you know, broccoli type stuff going on.
Yeah.
An escaped avocado tree. What's going on in here?
Well, you said it. There are a number of different plants growing in here, and a lot of them are vegetable or fruit plants. So, as you can see, if we start over here, so some of them we started from seed earlier in the year. And when you germinate seeds, you typically want to do it about 14 to 13 weeks before the last frost. Now, I got started a little bit late, so some of these aren't as big as they should be right now, but what we got growing over here is some Jamaican yellow, Jamaican red, and habanero peppers. Yeah, so these are our beefsteak tomatoes right here, and then this one's gonna pop out little cherry tomatoes, and we've already got a few little guys popping out over here, as you can see. And then in the green buckets to your left, those are some potatoes. And I grew those. I got the idea to pop those out after watching The Martian starring Matt Damon. And he gets stranded on Mars, for any of you who may have seen this spectacular movie. And he has to grow his own food. He only has potatoes, though, and so he needs to figure out a way to make more potatoes. And what he does is he composts, which we can talk about in a little bit in this episode here, but he cuts the potatoes in half, and there's a certain half you want to set down. You set the cut half down in the dirt, and it'll start sending out apical shoots, and some of the little roots will come out too, and he can grow more potatoes just off of a cut real potato, or a cut full fruit of the potato. So that's pretty neat stuff. Here we got a big thing of broccoli coming up, and the broccoli you can really tell a broccoli plant, it's a broccoli plant, because it's got this, it's almost like a, I don't know, seafoam teal color of leaf. It's a very different color than some of the other leaves that we have here and the other plants growing in the greenhouse. It's got a real sturdy stem here, and that's because the broccoli flower, as you know, broccoli at the store, has that real thick stem. So this is eventually going to sprout a huge broccoli head right in the middle and get really big. Around here, so back here we got Brussels sprouts, and the Brussels sprouts also have a very unique leaf, where instead of kind of folding down from the midline here, the ridge, they curve upward, and so they create these kind of cups. As if you can zoom in on that, it's kind of folds in the middle, and they fold upward like that, and that's a telltale sign that you got yourself a Brussels sprout plant right there. Okay, so here we have our compost bin, and composting is really important. Like something like 30% of household waste is organic material, and a lot of people who don't compost, that stuff ends up going to the landfill and mixing in with non-organic stuff that people just send away as garbage. and that can actually be really bad for the environment. That contributes to a lot of methane release because that organic material gets compacted in with a lot of that inorganic trash. It creates a lot of moisture and it releases a lot of methane and other gases that contribute to the greenhouse effect. So please compost your food. Anyways, composting, we want to use organic material. So generally you don't want to compost anything that is meat or anything with fats and oils in them. That can really slow down the composting process. It can be detrimental to the soil that you're putting in with your garden. So what we want to do is compost things like kitchen scraps that are fruits, vegetables. One myth people I've heard is that you can't compost bread. You really can. Composting bread is okay. You just want it to be moldy and kind of the old bread that started to mold.
So someone last summer threw a full avocado pit into the compost, and it sat in this jar, this old compost jar for some time. And then all of a sudden you had a little tree. We had a little tree that started sprouting. And now we have about a 2.5, maybe 3 foot tall avocado tree. And how nice is that? And maybe, in a few years, maybe if we're lucky, treat it right, give it the right, conditions to grow, to bloom. Maybe we'll have our very own avocados, James.
Oh, wouldn't that be just magnificent?
Thank you for showing us around. Is there, anything else that the viewers can take home about greenhouses?
Even if you don't have a greenhouse, I would encourage you at home, the viewers, to, try gardening, try growing your own food. Practicing sustainability is really important, and being able to grow your own food is an invaluable skill that you can have throughout your life, and it's really good to show your kids, your nieces and nephews, your grandchildren, whoever it may be, that they can grow their own food too. And they can really, grow whatever they want. I mean, I got seeds here of ghost peppers. I'm really into spicy food, and so we got some ghost pepper seeds, germinated those guys, and it took a lot of trial and error, but after you actually do it successfully, it's very rewarding and can be a great skill and a lot of fun to do. So go out there and plant some greens and get gardening.
Alright, well, thank you for watching this glorious episode of Wildlife Wednesday. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you learned 2 or things about gardening, composting, greenhouses, whatever it may be. And before the next Wildlife Wednesday, try to get outside, but maybe if you can't get outside, maybe just
get gardening.
Alright, see you on the next one.